Hello and welcome to Massage Therapist Entrepreneurs and Anatomy Geeks. Sorry I'm late. I don't know. Something happened with the live video thing. Hopefully I've been live this whole time. Facebook Lives are so weird. But anyway, so today I just wanted to talk a little bit about the rotator cuff. And I'm hoping everybody can see it. I've brought out Netter again because I love Netter. Oh, and I'm holding it upside down. Alright, so the rotator cuff is comprised of four muscles, that their main action is to hold the humerus, the arm bone, in the glenoid fossa, which is part of the scapula. So, and that creates the shoulder joint, the glenohumeral joint. So it's important that the rotator cuff is strong so those muscles can hold the humerus in the right place. So let me just show you quickly here. This is an interesting view. Let's see if we can see it. But a view from the top. So you can see, and then this. And if anybody's here with me live, just say hello in the chat. And tell me if you can't see what the heck I'm doing. But yeah, so we have, now I can sort of see it. Let's see. So this is the front of the scapula, and this is subscapularis that comes around and attaches on the front of the humerus. And then here we have supraspinatus, infraspinatus, and teres minor. I'm not very good at this. There's teres minor. Right there. And then they come and attach around the front. So they have a little bit of action to, like, twist, what's that, medially rotate and laterally rotate the shoulder. But mostly, their most important action is to stabilize the head of the humerus. And let's see. Yeah, I think that was mostly, I hope everybody could see what I was pointing at there. But yeah, so, so with a rotator cuff injury, the most commonly injured rotator cuff is the supraspinatus, which is there on top of the scapula. Let's see if I can get this in the right place. Yeah. So this is the supraspinatus, and it comes out and attaches to the head of the humerus here, and you can reach it here while massaging. And this is a cool picture because you can see the top. So this is the supraspinatus, subscapularis, and then infraspinatus and teres minor on the back. And okay. So it's usually like right around here that the supraspinatus gets torn in a rotator cuff tear type of injury. And then also this is interesting. I did not realize that impingement had to do with the rotator cuff until I started researching it. I thought it had more to do with the biceps tendon, but it is actually a rotator cuff. The supraspinatus, again, gets trapped under the acromion, this process of the scapula. I need a better but this is the acromion. An impingement, it's kind of right in there that gets affected, and the acromion impinges upon the supraspinatus, and that causes a shoulder impingement, which is good for me to know because I feel like I've been working on a lot of people with shoulder impingement lately. So I was like, okay, I better look this up and make sure I'm doing things right here. Or at least know what I'm talking about, know what I'm looking at, and what people are experiencing when they come to me and they're like, I have a shoulder impingement. So it's like, okay, so that's your supraspinatus. And so that means that working on that supraspinatus some is probably a good idea, but it's probably a little inflamed too, so just working lightly on that supraspinatus. And another interesting thing I wanted to talk about is that I had a couple years ago been diagnosed with, shoulder instability. And that, for me, manifested as pain in the teres minor, which was really interesting. And for a long time, I just couldn't figure out what the heck was going on. I was having this pain in the back of my shoulder. And then I learned, as a massage therapist, that that was the teres minor. I was like, okay, but what's going on? And then I went to a physical therapist, and they said that I had shoulder instability. So that, to me, means that the rotator cuff doesn't really, like, the tendons are a little stretchy maybe, and they don't really hold the shoulder in the socket very well. And that manifested for me as pain in the teres minor area. So, like, along the back of my scapula there. So just something to think about. If people have pain in that area, you could always be like, have you ever seen a physical therapist? They may have something that could help you. You could possibly, no diagnosing or anything, but could possibly have some instability in your shoulders. Make sure you get them firmly in the socket before you do any hard work. Me, I was like, my shoulder was not very firm in the socket, and I was doing massage, so like pushing really hard with my elbows, and then my shoulder was hurting. It's like, okay, that makes sense. But so it was good to learn that was what was causing it. And let's see, was there anything else I wanted to talk about I don't think anybody's here, so probably no questions. But if anybody has any questions in the future, you can put them in the chat for this video. And then on Tuesday next week, I'm going to be doing a workshop about stepping into your massage practice. If any of you massage therapists are interested in the possibility of starting your own practice, you could come, and it's going to be a lot of the emotional side of starting your practice. We're going to do a meditation, and then we're going to do a little exercise where you get to say, this is what I want, in my practice and then feel any emotions that come up around that. And those emotions are usually what stops you from doing what you want and from creating your own practice. I know that was what stopped me because I was uncertain and I felt like I could never do it. Like I could just never get the clients and never do it on my own. And when I let that go and I was like, okay, you know, I'm just going to do it because I'm ready and I'm not really interested in working for other people anymore. I just want to do my own thing. And then I just did it and I was like, oh, you know, this was not as hard as I thought it would be, for one thing. And it's been so much better. Like, I always thought I needed other people to get me clients. And then I realized that it's actually so much better for me now. So, yeah, so that's kind of what we will be talking about on Tuesday. Just realizing those emotions, trying to let some of them go so you can step into what you want. All right, well, thanks for listening to this video, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see some of you on Tuesday. All right, have a good one. Bye.